Hello, gypsies. It has been a while, but it's been a fun while. We have been busy working, reading, which is what I'm going to talk about today, and seeing movies. We saw The Kingsman, Golden Circle. I love that movie. It's like taking me back to Guy Ritchie and the Snatch movies and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That quick spin transitions, just fast fighting. I love the pop of color. I love Poppies and her old-fashioned drug lair. I mean, the movie was just really good. It's like I said, it's original. It's keeping with the original content. And you know, a lot of people say it's not adding anything new to the franchise, but it's basically just a good watch. I was sitting. It's like when I first went to New York. I was sitting there like this. Like I didn't want to miss anything. I was trying to catch everything. So, and the cast, I love the cast. They're yummy together, and we just had a good time. So, it's my cousin's favorite movie. We went there for a birthday movie night, so we had that fun. So, I have been also back to reading, and I was just so hooked on a book today. I was like, I want to do a video just to talk about the books, and then get back to reading, because if you do not know, with your Amazon Prime membership, you can get free books a month, I believe it is. And if you're subscribed to Amazon Prime, they'll send you an email so that you can choose from a selection of books. So, and I just found this out. I know you have the Kindle lending library, which is free. So if you're on Kindle and you're reading, you can always do the lending that way. But this is also just personal for you. You can get a book. So I picked by Teresa Driscoll, I Am Watching You. It is a suspense thriller, and it's about two girls who, well, no, one ends up missing. Two girls go on a trip, and then one ends up missing. So we're watching the aftermath and them trying to find out what's happened to this girl and who's actually involved. And over the course of the storyline, I mean, it's a best friend. It's two of the families of the best friends. It's the fathers of the best friends. So all of these, and then a lady that was on the train that saw it all and felt like she should have helped Ben, but did not. And so I'm halfway through it. I started this morning. I'm halfway through it, and I'm planning on finishing it by the end of tonight, because I've got to know what happened. So yeah, here's the cover of it. If you can, there it is. Yes, I Am Watching You. And not only do we have all that, we have the person, a person who's sending notes. That's the watcher, the person who's sending notes. So do they have anything to do with it? I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not there yet. So that's it's another gripper. It's kind of like the girl on the train and Gone Girl to me, like those. I've really enjoyed those books. They really did grip me. They were really good mysteries, and they really played out well. I know a lot of people didn't like the movie Gone Girl, but I didn't like that. And here's a thrift store find, because I do love, when I go to thrift stores, I get caught up in there. This is called Egalia's Daughter, and it takes place in the land of Egalia, where the rules of society are different. So in this society, the men and women have switched places. So this is a satire book, but it's funny and it's clever. And I really like books that either deal with the feminine perspective or deal with strong females as the protagonist and things like that. So obviously this cracks in the wallet. We have, instead of women, they are men-wim, and we are the woms. We're not women, we are woms. And they control society. And instead of, you know, like welfare and things for women, they have fatherhood protection. And there is one of the like school matrons who is actually a man, who has not found it yet. So there's this going on with him and his students and how they view him, because the men are not supposed to be macho and manly. They're supposed to be feminine and curl their mustaches and their beards. And he's strong, but he has to hide it. And the whole thing of men that are pregnant, but yes, the men carry the babies. Well, I don't maybe I said that wrong, but no, they get the women pregnant, but then they are still the ones who actually have to take care of. They are the house men-wim. It's hilarious, but it's a good retelling of society and just how silly the norms are based on what we've perceive them and try to portray them as based on our society, you know, and how easy you could flip that upside down. This one was a gift. I've Instagrammed about this one, Brown Girl Dreaming by Jaqueline Woodson. And I got this as a gift from my dad and stepmom as a birthday gift. And it's very inspirational. I love the way it is a novel. And you'll notice I love different types of styles of books. So I'm not just doing just prose style books. This is a book written, and I'm a page folder. So if you see a book from me, if I find passages, and that's what you should do to remember, you know, if you find a passage that speaks to you. The book is written in like poetry form, but it's still in a prose type of delivery and setup, but each one is almost like a poem of the chapter. It's beautiful. It's telling the story of her from a childhood growing up and getting into her writing voice and growing up in, because this was by, I forget what time this was, maybe the 70s when she was growing up, maybe, but her family, it's going back with the family from the 60s, actually, 50s. And even the times like we're going through kind of now, you know, racial issues during the times of wanting to be a brown girl who writes and finding her voice and, you know, even just learning her name, when she learned her name and those letters and the power that letters and words had. Yes, and it is full. It has family photos of hers too. But this is that. There you go, Jaqueline Woodson. Really nice book. I laughed, I cried, I cheered up. I mean, this book is lovely to hear about her life, and just if you're a writer or a teenager or a mentor of someone, give them this book. Young girls, it's going to be a good one for them. And as I talk about the different style of that book and how it's written as a poem, as poems in chapters, and yes, I do know my book is written in play form. Like I said, that book is a culmination of reality shows, you know, all of them, Bad Girls Club, My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding, Housewives, like all of those, and even the spoofs of those and the plays and just the play on reality, and that this is the script of reality that is unscripted, but it's the transcripts. And yes, it's written in play form, and because I originally wanted it to be a play, you know, I imagined it being acted out on the stage. And then as I got my things out of storage, I realized I was such a fangirl. Not only, you know, we read plays in English class. I remember Raisin in the Sun, and we did that, and I did a lot of the sister parts. And I remember getting, you know, accolades from the professor about the readings and stuff. So I love that, and I realized that I got these. If you know the British comedy Absolutely Fabulous, me and my cousin love British comedies, and we were hooked on this one. And even at, what is that, Half Price Books in Texas, this one has pictures too, but I bought these to go with the show, not only because there were certain things that, you know, as in British culture, I really didn't understand what they were saying anyways. And this kind of helped. This was fun to see the scripts of the shows, but it also showed because there was a lot of editing. So you get to see how the script really was and then what they decided to actually air and say, and how the script a little bit changed from that. And then there's funny stuff from Joanna Lumley and Jennifer Saunders in there too. I have seasons 1 and 2 of that. So I just thought that was funny when I pulled that out. It was like memories. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I wrote my book kind of in the same vein. But like I said, I saw it acted out. You know, it's more than the play. It's a script of the life of those women. And so, yeah, when you read it, it's going to be laid out like play form, but that's what it's for. So hopefully I can get it in double, you know, we can get it in a movie, a play, a TV show, a book. So yes, yeah, so I just wanted to, that book, yeah, check that out. I Am Watching You, because it's a fast read, but it's interesting. It keeps you captivated, and I'm really interested to see where that story goes. So yeah, I can't even think. I'm just ready to get back to it. I was reading it in the carpool lane, like, oh my god, like, oh, okay. So book nerds, what are you reading? If have you read any of those books? Is there anything else that you read similar to those books? Yeah, keep me informed. This is going to be the online book club, and there's some other YouTubers that I'm going to be talking about soon. As far as favorite YouTube, not booktube, because there's a little bit something going on with that. So I'm going to keep it to my favorite YouTubers, wink, wink, that are doing book reviews, book hauls, and things like that, as well as the favorite YouTubers separately who are doing different stuff. So have a great, awesome day. Go see Watchmen. I also want to talk about what TV shows are going on, because yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Check out my Broad City debut review. I need to get back into that because I keep missing stuff, but there's so much going on. But yeah, hit me up. Let me know. Bye, gypsies.